Let's get started in a nice, easy seat. And once you get there, closing your eyes and beginning to drop in. So for me, I know that sometimes I can get stuck in these cycles of seriousness and taking things pretty seriously whenever they are things that I can bring a lot of fun into. So for example, the yoga practice. So often we're like, okay, this is my one practice for the day. It has to be exactly how I expect it to be or whatever. And I think being able to practice dropping that and letting it go as much as possible is a really powerful practice, because then you can take it off of the mat and you can find ways to have fun in other circumstances that you might take pretty seriously or have pre-existing expectations that alter your experience, when in fact you can alter it in a way that is much more light and bouncy and fun. So that's what we're playing with today, is the act of having fun in the practice, regardless of how it looks or how we expect it to be. So allowing that to integrate for a moment and just playing around with the idea of fun and how much it is intertwined in your daily life and not something that just is something you set out to do. Like on Saturday, I'm doing this fun thing, and then it's back to life on Sunday. But how much can you flip that perspective and bring that essence of fun into the daily experience? Taking a big inhale and a long exhale out the mouth. And coming up onto all fours. You know the drill if you practice with me consistently, just beginning to roll around through the spine. Maybe a little cat-cow gone wild, just taking it off course and allowing your body to move, to instill that sense of freedom within your practice on the mat. Tucking your toes, hips lift high, down dog. Big inhale, right leg sweeps up and back, down dog split. Sending that foot to the top of the mat, rounding up through center and landing in a high lunge. Big inhale, lift. Easy exhale, open up, warrior two. Right away, tip it on back, reverse. Sweep it forward, extended side angle. Planting both palms down to the inner edge of that right foot. Pressing it into your palms, stepping the right foot back, coming into a plank pose. Shifting up and back, downward dog. Left leg reaches high. sweeping that leg forward, rounding up through center, and landing in a high lunge. Big inhale, lift, opening to or warrior two. Right away, tip it on back reverse. Sweeping forward, extended side angle. Palms land on the inner edge of that front foot. Stepping it back, coming into a plank. Opening up side plank on the left side. Dropping down the left knee. And then reaching that right arm forward. Pressing firmly down through the left sides of the body. Maybe the right leg just lifts up a bit. And then grabbing a hold of it with the right hand, if that's accessible. Releasing the clasp. And then taking that right foot to the top of the mat. You can allow your left knee, left leg to pivot as you do so. Landing that right foot. Sweeping open towards the left, sinking your hips down, Skandasana. Pressing up through center, parallel out your feet with the short edges of the mat. Wide-legged forward fold. Walking your hands towards the top of the mat, pressing into the right foot as the left one reaches high. Standing split. You are welcome, of course, to stay here. If you're looking to play around with a handstand a bit, leaning forward and pressing into your palms, maybe your right foot just lifts a bit off of the mat. You lean back and then try it again. Maybe it lifts a little higher. You lean back, trying again. Maybe it's even higher. Playing around in your handstand and not attempting to not become attached to taking it the whole way up. Maybe you're just pressing back and forth. That is building strength to be able to take it up completely. Maybe you fall out. No big deal. It's all part of the practice. This practice, showing up consistently to play in this space, is a great way to walk off of the mat and show up in other spaces that are challenging, where we're building strength and we're growing. And then from there, we can approach them differently because we practice it in the confines of the yoga practice. So finishing up, playing around with your handstand on this side, and then finding a downward dog. Big inhale, long exhale. Rounding out plank pose. Tipping up and open to side plank on the right side. Dropping the right knee down. Pausing and breathing here as you reach that left arm long. Maybe you lift up the right foot. Bending through that leg, grabbing a hold of the foot with the hand. Then a gentle release as you work your way towards landing that left foot at the top of the mat. Once it lands, opening towards the right, sinking your hips down, Skandasana. Pressing up through center, wide-legged forward fold. Feet parallel with the short edges of the mat. Hands walk to the top, pressing firmly down through the left leg. Right leg reaches high. Pausing and staying here, or practicing that handstand. Letting it be a practice of fun and freedom, and removing expectation of what you think it should look like based on what you've seen on Instagram or YouTube or wherever. It's great to have goals, but it's also great to accept where you're at and recognize the growth that you are creating with the practice through the journey of consistent practice. And then stepping back, downward dog. Big inhale. Long exhale. Rounding out plank pose. Side plank on the left side. Maybe lifting the right leg high, reaching the hips even higher. You can play around with grabbing the right foot with the right hand, pressing them into each other. Easy release, and then sending that right foot to the top of the mat, taking it slow. Once you land, opening into your Skandasana. Pressing your hips high, forward fold. You're welcome to stay in your forward fold, of course, if you would like to attempt a forearm stand, another handstand, a headstand, wherever you're at with your inversion practice, playing around there. Remembering to instill that essence of fun into this space, regardless of what it looks like. Slowly coming out and into your forward fold once more. Then walking your hands towards the top of the mat, pressing into the right leg, lifting the left one high. Let's do a handstand kick. So one time kicking up and then finding a downward dog. Rounding forward plank pose. Side plank on the right side. Lifting the left leg high. Reaching behind you, grabbing a hold of that foot with the hand, pressing them into each other. Releasing the clasp and slowly taking that foot to the top of the mat. Once you land, walking open towards the right, sinking your hips down, Skandasana. Pressing up through center, wide-legged forward fold. Pausing here or playing around with another inversion of your choice. You can also just press back and forth with where you're at in either of these spaces, building up the strength to take it further. Coming out of whatever you have going on. Walking your hands to the top of the mat, pressing firmly down through that left leg. Right leg reaches high. One kick of the handstand, and then back into a downward dog. Walking your hands to meet your feet at the back of the mat. Big inhale, halfway lift. Long exhale, fold. One more time, big inhale, this time clasping your hands back behind you as you fold. Releasing the clasp of the hands, sinking your hips down, squat. From here, you can stay where you're at. If you're looking to play around a bit more, playing with a crow pose. So pressing your palms firmly down onto the mat, looking forward as you lean forward. Knees on the backs of the arms. So look forward, lean forward. Maybe a foot comes off the mat. Maybe the other one does. Maybe they both do. Maybe neither does. But playing with that motion of leaning forward. It's like a wave. The wave goes out, and then another one crashes in. And then it goes out and crashes in. And from here, we're going to take just a few moments to practice anything that you want to practice. So maybe you have another inversion in mind, maybe you have another arm balance in mind, maybe you just have some type of stretch in mind. Whatever it is, choose your own adventure and have fun with it. Allow yourself to play on the mat. So picking whatever comes to mind, maybe you try a couple of things and just going with it. Finishing up with whatever you have going on and meeting in a downward dog. Walking your hands back to meet your feet once more. Big inhale, halfway lift. Choosing your forward fold. Dropping your knees down onto the mat, sinking your hips back, palms walk forward, child's pose. What is your relationship to fun? What has it been on this practice? What can it be walking off of the mat? Rounding up, swinging your legs around, coming into a forward fold of choice. Maybe legs together, legs wide, soles of the feet together, wherever you're at. Palms back behind you, big inhale, heart reaches high. Exhale, fold. Rounding onto your back, taking your knees with you as you make your way there. Recline pigeon, left ankle on the right knee. Unraveling your pigeon and finding a twist towards the right. Maybe cross legs or stacking through the knees or something else. Coming back to the middle, switching the cross of the legs, right ankle on the left knee. Making your way into your twist towards the left side. And coming back to center, choosing one final pose to come into. Maybe a plow pose, happy baby, something else, whatever it is, choosing it for yourself. And then making it into an experience of fun in some way. So maybe you are in a happy baby and you sway a bit side to side and you straighten your legs and you just make it a little funky. How can you go outside of the boxes that we create for ourselves and that society creates for us and create your own way? Making your way out of that, legs come long, palms resting down at your sides, eyes float closed. Integrating here for a moment. Do not skip the integration. Starting to wiggle your fingers and toes and roll around your wrists and your ankles. Nice big stretch up above the head. Bring your knees into your chest and making your way up to sit, keeping your eyes closed. Bringing to mind one place in your life where you can incorporate a new perspective, where you can have a bit more fun. Doesn't have to be so serious all of the time. Big inhale, arms reach out and up. Palms pressed together at the top, pulling your thumbs into your chest, connecting to your heart. Solidifying that new intention of changing your perspective, of having more fun with a big inhale and a long exhale. Opening your eyes whenever you're ready. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below so we can stay connected for future classes. And if you have any special requests for any future classes, I would love to hear from you in the comments, so let me know what you would like to see. And with that, I will see you next time.